Karyn Bryant for MMA H.E.A.T. I'm here with Matt Hughes, former welterweight champion, and now you're employed by the UFC. What are you doing here on the 20th anniversary? What in specific are you working on?
Nothing specific, nothing out of the ordinary. I come in Wednesday, and I've been doing some PR for them, Radio Row, and some other stuff. So nothing real spectacular. I did play poker for the UFC last night on that, and that was a lot of fun. So
how'd you do?
I ended up winning, so I got lucky.
Nice, very nice, very nice. Well, I'm also curious about your thoughts here. You know, you're kind of walking around, reliving some of these moments. Is there any of these that stand out to you, either fights that you were in or fights that you went to that you remember as exceptionally, you know, a lot of fun for you?
Yeah, there's a lot of them here, and there are a couple posters with me on it, but I'm looking at more of the posters where my friends and teammates have done well, you know. So it's just amazing where it started, where I came in. My poster is not here from UFC 22, but where it started when I came in and where it's at now. It's just amazing where the sport's been.
Well, it's interesting. I feel like that's a question everybody's asking. Did you ever expect that? But were there signs early on where you felt that you could tell it was catching on and that the groundswell was building?
Well, when Zuffa bought it from SCG, that was a huge time for the UFC. And then, you know, after the Ultimate Fighter, Spike TV came on board, there was a surge there. So right after that, I felt the surge because I couldn't walk through an airport without somebody saying, "Hey, aren't you that fighter guy?" You know, and now people say, "Hey, Matt Hughes," but it's just right after the Ultimate Fighter came out, I could see it.
Yeah, and it's interesting too the way that has changed from not even, you know, I still feel like I'm answering the question and I'm telling people, yes, there are rules. You know, yes, there is something there to control the fights. I mean, did you feel did you notice that shift, that particular shift, when people started to really understand the sport element of it versus the, you know, brutality that they thought they were just seeing?
You know, I think 5 years ago or something, people actually, the fans become actually pretty educated about the sport. So I stopped answering that question here a couple years ago. Not saying I don't get it as much, I still get it, but yet it's not the prevalent question. So, you know, the fans are really coming around to where they know the rules, you know, and they know the weight limits and this and that, and you know, if you're not fighting for a title fight, you get an extra pound. I mean, just the fans know. I mean, it's all on the internet, and you know, the internet's king nowadays.
So what do you think of this fight card? There's some great matchups on the UFC 167 in particular. Any one fight that you are more excited about?
Well, I got some friends fighting.
Yes. Such as?
Robbie Lawler. So another reason why I came out on Wednesday. So he's got a great fight. You know, Rory's a very good kid. I don't want Rory on top of him, and I don't want Rory out there picking his kicks. I don't want that. If they want to go box, that'd be great. But
hands on Robbie.
Heavy, you know, Robbie has got bricks in both hands. So I just don't. Those are two things. And Johnny and I are friends as well. George is a heck of a fighter. I'd like to see Johnny land that left hand in the first or second round, and I think, you know, as time goes on in that fight, George is going to get more stronger.
It's interesting. I've, you know, been a Robbie Lawler fan for years, and I make no secret of it. I think Rory McDonald's a fantastic fighter, but I, you know, feel like with Robbie back in Elite XC and, you know, at Strikeforce, I feel like I've really seen a nice progression from him. How have you seen him change? Because he feels, it seems like he's got a renewed, not even a renewed interest, but just a renewed ability, even in a new outlook.
When Robbie started, he was 19 years old, and Robbie was knocking people out at 19 years. So I mean, he grew into this fighter that just thought he'd walk in there and in 5 seconds the fight would be over, you know. But now he's early 30s. He's mature.
Yes.
And, you know, I think I became my strongest as a man around 32. And I think he's tough for me to hold down. He's tough for me to take down. I don't take Robbie down anymore. So he's turned into with his maturity and his body coming along. He's the full deal right now.
Well, and it's nice that he's got a perspective on having been here before and can now look back and say, oh, okay, maybe I made that mistake and now I won't do that anymore.
And you know, he's been through the highs and he's had some lows. So he's to the point now where he's pretty high up on the ladder, and he doesn't want to fall back down in those bad ruts that everybody has had as a fighter. So he knows where he wants to go, and he knows where he doesn't want to be.
So for your job, though, do you literally have to go check into an office every day? What exactly do you have to do? Where do you go on Monday morning?
I've got a pretty relaxed schedule. So I didn't move to Vegas. I didn't have to. Live on the family farm. So Monday morning, I'll take my kids to school and go work out.
All right, Matt. Thanks for talking with us. Have a great time tonight.
You too.